Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hello MJ friends, checking in. APHA in the spotlight right now. It's halted after hours, as is GGB. So everybody's expecting that offer, which we've been expecting for a few days. We're not halted on the US side of things, so I just took advantage of that. I'll show you that in just a minute after hours. First, let's set the table. We started today with a lower open on APHA. Got a lot of pushback in the video yesterday from people saying that that wasn't going to happen when, my speculation about a lower open on the Canadian side of things had nothing to do with technical analysis or charts. It just had to do with logic. When you have an entire region of people, tens of thousands of people, millions of dollars who cannot take profit on a 12% move, then they open up, you anticipate that they're going to take profit. So in order to not see profit taking and in order to see APHA gap up open on the Canadian side of things, you have to assume that there's going to be buying pressure on the US side of things greater than 12% from the previous close. And that's just not the likely scenario. The likely scenario is you see a drop in the Canadian side of things and a bump up on the US side of things, and they meet somewhere in the middle rather than just seeing the US name completely disregard any profit taking for 12% and seeing continuation to start the morning. So we have a daily inside bar. Currently after hours, let's look at this move because again, US traders have a huge advantage here where we can keep trading right now. So I just made a 2-day maker in 10 minutes. And that was the reason that I made that trade was fortunately because one of our members posted and said, GGB is halted now as well. So first we got APHA halted and I said, that's a little bit odd if they're going to release, deal news after hours. I would anticipate they're going to do that during regular trading. But as soon as GGB was halted as well, I entered pretty decent sized position. Considering it was in extended hours, I got in at 740 and I exited 2 positions with an average of 775. So a solid 5% move, about 4.5% in, again, about 10 minutes of trading. And that pretty much after a day of grinding, having a small win today after maybe 4 trades, a couple of them break even, not really a whole lot. I flipped CGC, I flipped Cron, but just to make, 3 times what I made grinding all day in 10 minutes, is a big time opportunity. Now we're pulling back while we wait to see what this actual news is. Just keep in mind that we have 2 days of run up leading into this news, the last 2 days on the Canadian side of things. So there's a lot of money already in on this news. And, everybody seeing the buying was anticipating this is what's coming. So now that we have it, let's see what kind of offer we get and what kind of reaction we get to that offer. And resistance on the TSX here will be 10.06, and that is going to be difficult to align here because we don't have that level on the US side of things. US resistance is 744. We got up into the 780s in extended hours, and now we're back down to the 720s. So we've given back a very significant amount of that initial bull move. And I might look to re-enter lower and risk only the profit that I've already gotten. I'm just gonna make the video. So we'll see what this news is. That's our attention right now. CGC on the daily time frame today. And again, I'm gonna look at the Canadian side of things because we have an extra day of trading and more information there. And we have a 4-hour head and shoulders pattern potentially setting up. We have the left shoulder, the head, and then the right shoulder if we break this neckline of support. So let's look at, this would be the left shoulder, this would be the head, this would be a lower high and a right shoulder. Key support is 5660. If we break 5660, we lose the 4-hour uptrend for the first time since this massive bull move started, and daily consolidation will be more significantly underway. So 5660 key support, followed by 5374. And here we have APHA just gave back the entirety of the move in extended hours, and it's now lower than where we closed at 708. So a lot of volatility going on here. And it's going to be very interesting to watch. Who needs soap operas? So that's what we're watching on WED. Key support to try and keep the bulls in control, 59.48, 59.95. Two key resistances. And we saw the start of consolidation today in the S&P 500. So the question now is going to be, is this consolidation on the S&P 500 going to carry over and lead to consolidation in the MJ space as well? Cron on the daily chart, big bearish reversal candlestick after a new all-time high with some follow-through today. Hourly chart, we're watching the low of consolidation, and the low of the day is key here, 1481, and the bulls are trying to form a higher low compared to that level. If we can hold 1481 first thing tomorrow morning, we'll look for a bounce and a lower high in the upper $15 range and a tightening hourly pattern. If we break 1481, we look to 1459, and again, daily consolidation will very clearly be underway at that point, if that is indeed how it plays out. ACB on the daily chart, still consolidating. Inside bar broke bearish. We have no indication of a low being set just yet. 820 and 821 is a current little double bottom. And we're watching to see, can that level hold first thing tomorrow? If it can't, consolidation is clearly not done yet. We have to change the hourly trend for our daily higher low to be established, and we're not close to doing that on the hourly chart at this point. So worth starting to pay attention for a daily higher low to be established on ACB, but the bears do still have momentum in their favor, and we need that hourly trend change. TLRY keeps dropping. The daily higher low is 67.77 for the bulls to try and keep the uptrend. If we can hold that level, we're going to look for a bounce and just a lower high on the daily. Again, in my opinion, it's all speculation, but there is no doubt in my mind that shares becoming free trading are being sold into this market. You don't drop, 30% over 5 days when the rest of the market is seeing, or the rest of the sector is seeing bullish action in that same period. That just doesn't happen on solid bear volume without news unless there's shares being sold, in my opinion. So hourly trend has to change here as well for any kind of bounce on the daily. Resistance is 76.30, and anything under 76.30 is just a lower high. Worth keeping an eye on TLRY and ACB to form a daily higher low and get at least a short-term bounce, but we're not going to be expecting too much from the bulls on that bounce, just lower highs. HEXO, bearish reaction to its dilution news. So healthy consolidation overall, not too big of a pullback. Obviously, from where we closed, it was a pretty big pullback, but we're just looking for a daily higher low compared to 601, and anything above that will keep the higher low. Have to see an hourly trend change to indicate the daily higher low has been established, and at this point, key hourly resistance is 728 for the bulls to try and shift momentum. So we're going to watch for a daily higher low to form on HEXO. And as far as support goes, looking down at 696 and 688. N is still grinding sideways, 132 double bottom of support, and 139 is resistance. That's the range to be watching. If 132 breaks, we look to 120. If 139 breaks, we look to 143 as the next level after it. TGOT on the daily chart. So here's an example of the hourly trend change indicating the daily higher low being established. We consolidate with hourly lower highs, lower lows. We have a higher low compared to 277 and a bull break. So here's our low, high of the bounce, higher low, and a bull break over 288, indicating that the hourly trend has changed. We got follow through first thing at the open and made it all the way up to 305. So a very significant move of about 5% on that break. Now we have our daily clear higher low established at 277. That's our important daily support level going forward. Resistance is 305 and 312 from here. Bulls want to see some follow through tomorrow and follow through from that daily higher low being established. IIPR all-time highs. 55.63 was a bit of a triple top that broke, and now we are looking at psychological levels, 57, 58, 59, and hourly higher low of support. Saw some consolidation at the end of the day. Bulls would love to hold 55.76 first thing tomorrow morning, but they don't have to. If we lose 55.76 support, we're still just going to look for an hourly higher low to be established on this pullback. But a great sign for the Bulls, especially on a very weak market day, to have a solid green day and to see those all-time highs and continuation of this bullish chart, which has seen a very significant recovery of about 25-30% from the lows just about a month ago. CWeb is also eyeing those all-time highs. The US ticker all-time highs are further away, and that's because it's very thinly traded, and market buying gave big upper wicks on the US chart. So you want to look at the Canadian chart here. 1870 is the all-time high. We got up to 1850 today and pulled back a little bit. So got very close there, but it's worth keeping an eye on. We'll look at 19 psychological if we can break 1870. Hourly support on CWeb, trying to establish a higher low. And if we consolidate first thing tomorrow morning and break 1788, we'll look for an hourly higher low to be established, keeping an eye on CWeb and all-time highs. So IIPR and CWeb on the verge of all-time highs or at all-time highs. TGOD daily higher low established and still extremely tight on the daily and a range of 7 cents with a break imminent. HEXO in consolidation mode on a bearish reaction to the dilution news, but overall daily chart still very much intact for the bulls. TLRY, something's up with selling pressure, but we are going to be looking for the bulls to potentially defend the upper $60 support range. ACB, still looking for a daily higher low. The size of the pullback at this point, we'll be looking for an equilibrium and a lower high as soon as we do get a bounce going. Cron, bearish reversal candlestick on the daily after all-time highs. Healthy consolidation may be coming here. WEED, head and shoulders on the 4-hour time frame. If we break 5660, that will be a clear shift in momentum. And APHA after hours, let's check back in here. We just dropped all the way under $7, all the way back to $7.30. That was a nice little reload opportunity, but at this point, I'm just going to wait and see what that news reaction is. But euphoria straight into some fear here, and we'll see what kind of reaction we get. Hope you're all doing well. We'll check back in tomorrow, and best of luck to APHA holders. Hope you get a $1 billion bid.